as a chair. He's also one who applied to join in. We asked him whether he can speak French, and we sent him to the School of French because he wanted to marry our daughter, Patience, who is a teacher of French. And who else are there? Mdogo sana. He's a risk manager. He's a financial engineer and a risk manager in the country. And Nelly there applied, and we asked her whether she understands risk, and she said yes. So we allowed her also to join the family. Dr. Eugene Mluka is not able to join us today. Prime CS, this is the family. As they go to sit down and as we prepare for you to come and talk to us, Dr. Gona was very kind to me. He didn't tell you that one of the things I said to him when we met in the corridors of the Department of History at the University of Nairobi was that I had started noticing people were coming to my house and they would say, "I've come to see Dr. Mluka." And the housekeeper would ask them, "Which one?" And there were still a few more people, including her, who are studying for doctorate degrees. I said, "This is not right." Each time these people come here and the house help says, "Which Dr. Mluka?" she knows that it's any of the others, but not Daddy. So I said, "Hapana, hiyo madharau haitawezekana." So I thank you very much. You can go back. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Prime CS will presently address us. Prime CS, as you come to address us, allow me to confess to the gathering that you also paid part of my fees. Education is humbling. Prime CS was 1 year behind me at the University of Nairobi, but he paid my school fees. Let us put our hands together for him. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Yeah. Well, please be seated. Asante sana, Dr. Barak Mluka and your entire family. The good people who are here, I don't know where to start. I tell you, protocols have problems. But let me acknowledge that we have Justice Mchelule with us, Commissioner Mary, Asante sana Professor, the Deputy Ambassador for France, Madame Caroline, thank you for being here. Commissioner Murugu, Asante with the team there. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I will first of all just correct something. I did not just wake up and pay Barak's fees. You might get some wrong notion. Actually, Barak, we were working together. That is how it arose. We were working together. He was helping me go through some interesting moments. He was a very close buddy behind my autobiography. So we spent several hours together. And naturally, if somebody spends those kind of hours with you, if there's a slice of bread, you'll share it. So I think that is the context in which we go together. As he spoke about the University of Nairobi and the 1982, and he referred to Kabatesi, he referred to he referred to the boxers and others. Then I remembered that it was quite a moment, because we were also put into exile by the government of the day. Murugu, were you there? You came much later. We were sent into some exile, and we had to report every morning to the chief. So we would walk several kilometers from wherever you are, because naturally the chief was not staying in your compound. He had his center. So you'd walk every other day to have the clock or the register ticked that you are indeed in that village. I don't know how it happens in the refugee camps at that time, but maybe initially that was part of it, how you keep records and so forth. But now here we are. So Dr. Barak Muluka, at the frontal part of my statement, let me say congratulations to you. Thank you for coming up with this very critical piece. In fact, when we were spending time together, I kept on asking you, how do you actually manage? Because I'm giving you problems here, and you tell me you're going to do your various assignments and research. Now I can see you are really determined, and it has borne fruit. So let me make my remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm indeed privileged to be part of the launch of this great book, touching on a topic that most would more often than not shy away from. Having known Barak for quite a while now, I dare say it speaks to his character, that he tackles not only complex issues, but also takes on uncharted waters head on. I've had an initial read of this illuminating book. I must say that it is a master work, blow by blow, account of what happens in Kenya's Kakuma refugee camp, while also analyzing migration from all fronts. I congratulate Dr. Muluka for a job well done. I must say that the title of the book intrigued me, as others have also been intrigued. Normally, the two words, home and exile, would fall in opposite sides of the scale. The literary way in which the book ties these two words unravels the very nature of human beings. That human migrations in peaceful and in troubled times suggest that people want to live in a wholesome environment. They want food, shelter, security, and peace. This is what defines a home, and it doesn't matter where, so long as one can get these basic necessities of life. That Africa today contributes a third of the global refugee population is a worrying trend, and one that needs immediate and sustained intervention. The numbers are swelling by the day. Globally, the situation is no better either. According to the UNHCR, the number of violently displaced people around the world at the end of 2022 was about 108.4 million. Of these, 35.3 million were refugees, while internally displaced persons were 62.5 million. There were 5.4 million asylum seekers and 5.2 million other people in need of international protection. The number has risen to about 110 million in 2023. While the statistics speak for themselves, I cannot avoid the memory of the heart-wrenching stories told in this book of the South Sudanese forced migration and their stay in Kenya's Kakuma refugee camp. Chapter 3 of the book provides the real voices of the people, why they left home, and why they are in Kakuma. There is the story of Neil, born at the camp and pregnant at the age of 13. She is duped by her own father to go back to South Sudan for a fake cultural ritual for her 3-month-old baby. Neil is instead forcefully married off to an old man, far older than her own father. The book further narrates the fate of the lost boys who got opportunities to go to the Western countries, while the lost girls of Southern Sudan languished in want courtesy of cultural taboos. They are the forgotten histories. But all was not in pain at Kakuma. Was not all pain at Kakuma. There's the story of Puoi. At 36 years, he enrolled in primary school and hopes to return to his country someday to change things there. The book reveals a paradox of sorts. Opportunities arose in Africa's newest nation of South Sudan. There was a high influx of business prospectors from the neighboring East and African countries looking for legitimate business. Strangely, Southern Sudanese citizens were voting with their feet to get out of their country, some with no intent to return. Ladies and gentlemen, this book provides an excellent foundation for us to begin to ask hard questions. What is making refugee camps permanent features in human habitation and settlement, when such abodes should only be temporary relief points for humanitarian intervention? How do we stem and possibly reverse the trend? Why are refugees arriving in camps such as Kakuma and Dadaab, even in relative peacetime? Why are refugees not returning to their countries, even after the factors that rattled them seem to have come to an end? In answering these questions, the book urges us to look beyond and ask whether the UNHCR Refugee Convention, an instrument functioned 72 years ago, expecting that the refugee problem would be over in 3 years, is still relevant. Is it still relevant to the challenges of a new world order? As the book rightly states, we need viable alternatives relevant to changed times, decades after 1951. The time is now to begin unbundling these hard conditions. The entire globe is affected, and we cannot continue to do the same things time and again and wish the migration issues away. The world must speak with one voice on refugee matters. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya has generously hosted refugees and asylum seekers for many decades. Kenya remains the 5th largest refugee hosting country in Africa and the 13th largest asylum country in the world, with over 644,000 registered refugees and asylum seekers. The vast majority reside in camps, including 274,000 in Dadaab, Garissa, and nearly 272,000 in Kakuma, Turkana County, and about 96,000 refugees reside in Nairobi and other urban areas. And the numbers continue to rise by the day. The 74th session of the Executive Committee of the High Commissioner's Program is scheduled to be held in Geneva, Switzerland in the coming few weeks. I will be making a keynote speech at an event themed Camps to Settlements, Socioeconomic Hubs for Integrated Refugee Inclusion in Kenya. And you know what? I would like to have Dr. Muluka by my side to prompt me on. In Geneva, I intend to pitch Kenya as a frontrunner in providing solutions to the rising refugee problem. I am, in this regard, pleased to inform you that through the Shirika Plan, Kenya is pioneering innovative approaches for the refugee management. As has been hinted at by Madam Caroline, the Shirika Plan aims at transforming the refugee camps into integrated settlements, supporting the socio-economic inclusion of refugees and host communities in Garissa, Turkana, and urban areas. I will save the details of the Shirika Plan for Geneva in a fortnight. And I am happy that the Commissioner is also here because they have played a pivotal role in this journey as well. In the meantime, the book we are launching today floats possible areas of reflection that can inform and enrich the Shirika Plan to make it the global model case. If you have not read this book, I urge you all to read it. I intend to reread it myself. It is stimulating, captivating, a well-researched book that offers leads that should be told to the world and acted upon. It is indeed a must-read. I therefore thank Barack for enabling us to savor the richness of literary prowess in this book. It is now my singular pleasure to officially launch the Home and Exile book, produced by an eminent scholar, Dr. Barack Muluka. Asante sana. And thank you, you two key players, the UNHCR, Caroline, Murugu, thank you for being here. It was not planned, but it has turned out to be an extremely pivotal moment. Asante sana. Thank you. Here we are. Now I stand to be directed.
Yes. Going to guide us.
Okay.
Okay, so after this, what we shall call the Open University, because our country, that is one of the main projects that our Ministry of Education is working on just now. We will thank you very much, our chief guest. And now we are going to move to what is going to be symbolically the launching of the book, which is going to be the form of the cake, cutting of the cake. I call upon Mrs. Dorothy Muluka, wife to Dr. Muluka, to please bring over the cake, along with Dr. Muluka Moduda Lorraine, and the other daughter, Patience Nere. Yeah, you do it from there, from here? Yeah. So here comes in the cake. We wait with bated breath to see what it looks like. So the cake is here. We are just holding on for Mrs. Okay, they say we could move it a little forward. Okay, a cake without a knife. Okay, the knife has arrived. So where is the mother? She's also our mother. Mrs. Muluka from the box. Okay, there she comes. Okay, so at this particular juncture, we are going to invite the chief guest, Chief Prime Minister, alongside Dr. Muluka, of course. Okay. So they are going to proceed to cut into home and exile with the words, congratulations, BOM, Barack Okwaro Muluka. Okay, so we say 3, 2, 1, and they cut. Okay, shall we clap? There is nobody to do lukalakala here. Where are the lawyers? Yes, that is how we do it in Emmanuelia. Yeah, it's a home of immigrants from a game. Okay, so there is Mrs. Muluka cutting into home and exile, handing over to the beautiful daughters, Patience and Lorraine Muluka. Okay, they cut a small piece because among us, the Luya people, you don't go to a home and not eat. So shall we clap for the chief guest, please? Where are the Lukalakalas? They are not coming. Okay, congratulations once again, Dr. Muluka. Not just about the title, but also the book. So a book launched is a book in market. As you heard Dr. Murunga saying, he's going to be bringing lots of them. Okay, so we bring now the book to symbolize that. Okay, so the book is being signed.
Eight, 09 20 23.
Thank you so much.
Santa Sana.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
you. All right. Oh, we can't miss it. All right.
Announce the
Okay, at this juncture, could I kindly please call upon all the other speakers of the evening to please come over for a photo session. And Dr. Muyandi, the Mwalimu, the CS of Higher Education and Learning, my own personal friend, Dr. Beatrice Inyangala Mganda. I don't know. Yes. It looks like okay. Andreas and Lorna. Okay, yes. Shall I invite him? Okay, that's okay, Okwiri, please. And then as Okwiri comes, the Muluka girls, kindly please. Okay, so I think as we finish with this photo session, I will wish on behalf of Dr. Muluka to acknowledge the following. Codestria, which was represented by Dr. Godwin Murunga and Dr. Owanda. Yeah. Okay, and then after we have got Lona and DC, Andrea and Ndelanga, who are the research assistants, Alois Obare, Charles Kinyeki, Godi Kanoti, and of course the media colleagues, John Budotich, Linda Alela, Charles Nyaramba, and Linda Akwabi. And then most of all, Alliance Française, merci beaucoup de nous avoir accueillis ici. Merci de nous avoir permis d'avoir un si joli événement. Et puis, la dernière chose is just to tell everyone that once the chief guest leaves at his own pleasure, the rest of us, we have got refreshments and the cake, which are just in the lounge, and so everyone will be able to have a bite and a drink before they can leave. And thank you very much, everyone, for coming. Okay. And then also there is going to be a book signing for those who have purchased the book. There is autographing as you have the refreshments. That's going to be happening right outside this very hall. Thank you so much. The Mwanamberi can come on now. Yeah, the refreshments, we told them. Yes, so it's now all about refreshments and Mwanamberi.